Recording in progress.
Hello, and welcome back to season 2 of Grief Unedited. I am your host, Karen Lafferty. I am an accredited grief therapist, specialising in grief and loss in private practice. And if you've been with us through season 1, thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for coming on this wild journey that we're on. Season 1 was very much a space for us to talk about grief and loss in its most real, honest, raw form, and my guests were just simply outstanding. This season, we've got a slightly different angle on things. I wanted to bring you a bit of a behind the scenes look at some of the work that goes on when we talk about bereavement support, the communities of practice around death and dying as well. So in season 2, I am delighted to bring you some of the most influential people working in the world of grief, loss, death, bereavement. So in this season, you are going to be hearing from funeral directors, celebrants, bereavement practitioners. You're going to be hearing from the people who lead the services that traditionally people may go to for support when they're bereaved here in the UK. And my hope is that it gives us a space to start to hear some of the work that goes on out in the wide world, and an opportunity to get a look behind the scenes in terms of what good bereavement support looks like, what motivates these people to show up and to do the work that they do. So I think that this season is going to be a really interesting deep dive into the world of bereavement care here in the UK. So, as usual, I'm going to aim to get an episode out to you every month with a new guest, and the format's slightly different, so we're still going with the unedited aspect of it. So, we hit record and we see what happens in the space and time that we have. But this time, what I have got planned is that each guest will get the same 3 questions to answer. And each of those questions is an opportunity for them to tell us, as the listeners, a little bit about the role that they play, what influences them in the work that they do, what makes good service from their perspective when we're talking about death and grief and loss. So I think this is going to be really insightful and hopefully really helpful for people to get a behind the scenes look at some of the work that's going on there out in the UK, and also to celebrate good practice, because I think that's something that for me as a practitioner I'm really passionate about. So how can you support us? This season we're doing things a little bit differently as well. As you know, last season I asked often if you could leave us a like, leave us a comment, leave us a review, and I would still love if you can do that, because that's ultimately how we get the podcast out to other people. I do this for free. We don't have a marketing budget or anything like that. This is just an absolute passion project of mine. So in order to help me spread the word, I would still love if you can leave a review, share an episode, tag people if you think there's somebody that should or could be listening to the episode that, it may be beneficial to them. But the other thing that we've introduced this season is the Buy Me a Coffee forum, which means that you can go on if you think the episode has been really good. If you think it's been something that you want to support, then you can go on and leave a really small donation, which will ultimately help with the processing, the spreading of the word of Grief Unedited. It will help me to reach out to more people as well. So yes, if you can support in that way, that would mean the world. And if you can't, that's absolutely fine. We'd still love for you to leave us a nice review, leave us a comment, let people know that you found the episode helpful. So I'm delighted to be back with you. I'm delighted and so excited to see what this season looks like, and can't wait to have you guys along with me for the ride. It's going to be wild, I don't doubt. And please do keep in contact if there's anything in particular you would like to hear, if there's any, industries, professionals that you think would be good to have on the show. As always, drop me a like, drop me a comment. At Continuum Counselling on both Facebook and on Instagram, and I will do my best to get them on. So yeah, delighted to be back, and here's season 2.